I accidentally stabbed my stepfather in the forearm with a kitchen knife. What secret could ruin your life if it got out? That my uncle raped and prostituted me out for drugs when I was 7. I've tried talking to my parents about my mental health before, and it's always ended badly, so I just don't try anymore. If they found this out, I am certain they wouldn't believe me, would gossip to everyone about what a liar I am, and I'd be even more of a black sheep in my family. And if they did happen to believe me, I'm sure they'd find a way to blame me. That I was a heroin addict in my 20s. Been clean 9 years, and no one I work with, or associate with at this point in my life, besides wife, kids, and immediate family, realized that 10 years ago I was an unrecognizable shell of who I am now. A cousin of mine tried to grape me when I was young, and years later, I tried to drown him with a hose. I put the hose at maximum in his throat, but when I heard my parents coming, I stopped. After that I said to him, "If you tell anyone about this, I'm going to really kill you," but we didn't see each other after that because his family moved to another state. When I was 11, I was told to take out the trash, and I did. For context, my family had a grill with a box of matches next to it, and it was fall. I burned some dead leaves for about 2 minutes, then I stomped on them to put out the fire, but all I did was push it right next to our house. Then the house went up in flames. My parents had very well-paying jobs, so they were able to pay for the damages. When the authorities came and the firefighters put out the fire, they wondered how it started. The authorities suspected that someone jumped the fence and lit the leaves to burn our house down. Our parents, scared for my life, moved somewhere else. They lost their jobs and a lot of money moving to our new house, and for the next 7 solid years we lived like shit. My parents still do not know that I'm the reason they had to live like that. I had a horrible compulsive lying problem when I was a teenager. My stories ran my whole life, and I completely ruined it before it could even start, which only made things worse in my head. I bottled up my feelings for many years. Recently, I've been getting therapy and taking medication, and I chose to ruin my life by admitting the truth to the people I lied to. Some don't talk to me anymore, which I understand. It felt good and also horrible to tell the truth. At least I don't do that anymore. If you have a similar issue, please talk to someone. Don't make it worse like I did. I have schizoaffective disorder. Most people don't know, aside from a few close friends. I don't tell people because they use it as a reason to invalidate me. Even when I've opened up on here outside of the SZA sub, people have tried to infantilize me or offensively tell me what's best for me, or educate me about my disorder as though I'm not living with it or as if I'm not a functioning adult. The world likes to pretend it's becoming all woke about mental health, but it's not. So I don't tell people. If I were open about it, I think it would prevent me from getting jobs or making friends, and I think it would make people suddenly view me as incapable, as though they know best. Because people are fucking stupid and watch things like A Beautiful Mind and suddenly believe they know everything. On my throwaway for obvious reasons. I grew up in a religious community and was molested by some church leaders. I am also certain I was molested by either my father or my uncle, but I think I blocked it out. I have scars on my body from cigarette burns from one of them, so I'm 99% sure I know which one. I was raped when I was 16 by a classmate, and it really messed me up for a while. It still comes back to haunt me here and there because I've never gotten therapy for it. I gained a substantial amount of weight on purpose to get everyone to stop touching me. I lost most of the weight in my 20s. I haven't been in a relationship in 7 years because my last boyfriend died. I've grieved him, but I still haven't found love since. I want to, but I'm also scared of ending up with someone awful. I have had therapy for this loss, but my therapist stopped seeing me due to an insurance mishap. Even after I got it sorted, he does not want to see me anymore. It's fine. I want so badly to get married, have kids, and finish school, but I don't believe that anyone will love me with my scars and loose skin. That's killing me inside, because I've come a long way, but I am horrifically lonely because of it. I decided that if I cannot make this happen by the time I'm 35, I'm done trying for love. I'll be 30 this year. I can't tell anyone this because of the lectures, and because I'd be considered all sorts of unstable. I want to have normalcy in my life. I also can't have my mother know this, because I know she truly could not handle it. She doesn't deserve to carry the burden of knowing how truly unhappy I am from time to time, or how horrific some parts of my life have been. She did the best she could, and she deserves to know she isn't a failure as a mother. She only knows about my boyfriend dying, and it was hard to see her worry about me. I tried to keep it together for her, but she doesn't know how much I really suffer. Seeing her break like that would ruin me. I don't need anything else to devastate me in this life. I also rarely talk about everything that has happened because someone I confided in tried to blackmail me with it. It was awful. I have done a damn good job handling everything, all things considered. I am not a criminal, I'm a nursing student, I have a job, and I think a lot of people around me would be floored if they knew how much pain I carry inside, given how good I am to people and how I'm usually the one helping with positivity and support. Hopefully, someday I can tell someone close to me again and have my wishes respected. Until then, it's only here, in my lonely anonymity. I'm only working about half of the time at work. I've managed to create a facade that makes it look like I work full-time on the project I was assigned, but it actually only takes about half the time. Sometimes it gets a bit stressful, but most of the time I organize everything in a way that allows me to do anything but my work at the office. On work-from-home days, I mostly play video games. If I'm asked how it's going, I lie and deceive to make it look like I'm fully tied to my work, schedules, and deadlines, etc. I got really good at this. I guess I could lie about nearly anything now, and most people would believe it. If my co-workers or my boss found out that I get paid for a full-time job while only working roughly 20 hours a week, I'd be fired immediately. Additionally, I live in a small town, and that would probably ruin my reputation with any potential new employer. I've been doing this for 2 years now. I haven't told my parents. My husband knows, but I recently quit my job to become a stripper. I have more quality time with my family, I'm more financially stable, I've gotten into better shape, and I don't have to worry about budgets or bills as much. If we need something in the house, it can go on the monthly or weekly list, depending on severity. If my husband needs a new project, I can give him his guy time. If my kid is sick, I can afford the medicine. I don't have to worry about money, and neither does my family, especially compared to my childhood, when I spent so much time worried about whether we'd have food, electricity, heat or AC, or even tampons. It feels good to be in a stable home, and even if I'm stripping to make it happen, I'm happy to be able to provide for my family the way I do. When I was about 11 or 12 years old, I accidentally stabbed my stepfather in the forearm with a kitchen knife. He walked behind me, and I instinctively flinched and did it. In reality, I was extremely angry at him that day for being a severe alcoholic and for being a downright piece of shit to me and the rest of my family. I stabbed him once, but when I realized it wasn't anywhere that would seriously hurt him, I began to apologize profusely. To this day, I wonder what would have happened if I had actually killed him. Although I know the consequences would probably have been devastating, the one thing that hasn't changed is that I wouldn't have regretted it, and I don't regret hurting him to this day. I'm disabled and almost completely broke, but everyone thought I made money in crypto, so no one will help. I never told anyone that I didn't pull out in time and got wiped out. I'm about to be bankrupt, homeless, and kicked out if I don't make a little over $1,000 in the next 2 weeks. I also made an attempt about a month ago. I'm still here, unfortunately. The body is resilient. I found out about a year ago that after my dad died, my parents were divorced. My mom orchestrated things so that all of his life savings would be put away until I was 18. The will left me as the primary beneficiary of his small estate, but I was only 15 at the time. The problem is, I never got that money. I later found out that she secretly hid it from the family, lied and said there was barely any money, and bought our family house outright with the cash that was meant to go to me and my brother. She also bought herself some nice jewelry and went on a couple of holidays. For a short while, I considered legal action, but I decided to continue playing dumb. If it got out that she had done this, it would completely tear the family apart again. So now I'm a broke 23-year-old, saving up for my own house penny by penny, knowing for a fact that there's about $450,000 that should be mine. A close friend of mine is married to a lawyer, and he reviewed my case and evidence. He said that if I took this to court, it would be a slam dunk and over within a couple of months. I won't do that to my brother. I won't do that to my family. Maybe when I'm 30 and starting a family, I'll sit her down and tell her she can quietly work out a plan with me to give me what I'm owed. For now, she actually thinks she's fooled me. She even lies and complains about mortgage payments. I don't hate her. I just feel sorry for her. You have to be twisted up inside to do that to your own son and daughter, but here we are. I hope the lie eats her up at night.